So back over at Chris's tonight. He is playing with their CJ7. So this is a 1985. What was it? Some sort of a spring edition or something? Spring special CJ7, which came with these super sweet stripes. No doors, no top, nothing. So he sourced some doors and a hardtop for it. And, man, they wheeled the heck out of it. They've had a lot of fun with it. But trying to get it to handle a little better. So even with brand new bushings in the front, the springs were deflecting side to side like crazy when you steer. So we're going to do a shackle reversal on the front. So people sell kits and stuff, but you know, we got some cardboard and some metal and a plasma cutter, so we can make something that'll work. Yeah, so that's what we're doing. So we're unbolting the axle. You can see it's hanging from the straps. We have drawn our final good, and final keep tabs that are going to be the front mount points for the springs. And then he's swapping over to these 2.5-inch lift YJ front springs, which is supposedly the ticket, I guess, for these things. So I'm no Jeep guy. I don't know nothing about any of this, but I'm good moral support or bad decision support, whatever you want to call it. Yeah. So somebody had added some tack welds to the original spring perch eyelet hanger piece there. We took the bolts out and then noticed there was weld behind it. So just cutting those loose, got the springs out of the way, just plugging away. All right, so we are just as we're kind of figuring things out here, but we're going to need this U-bolt to move over a little bit because the YJ leaf springs that we're using are a little bit wider. So we're going to have to do a little bit of grinding work on the fins here on the diff so that we can get that U-bolt over that 1/4 inch. And then on the other side, the shock mounts that we have on here, Chris is using, are kind of solid on the bottom, so we're actually going to have to, the U-bolt's going to come right through, like in the side of the shock mount, so we're going to have to drill a hole in the bottom of the shock mount, but nothing too crazy. All the brackets are off the frame, everything's ground up, and we've been working on getting all of our bracketry ground and drilled and ready to go on. Just the last few preps here, and we can start tacking things together. All right, so we took our side plate pieces that we made along with some rectangular pieces and kind of made a spring box here. There's a rivet sticking down on the frame that we need to clear with the sides, so we're going to hold it up onto there and kind of test fit things and keep on moving. And bracket number 1. It kind of looks like a thing. Hopefully it does everything we want it to do. So you can see on this side, you're dealing with a lot of extra stuff. He has this steering box brace to help with the steering box deflection. And then you've got, another piece of the original spring plate that was sandwiched in there because that's how the steering box brace was meant to go. So this side, the inner piece of the bracket especially, took a lot more time figuring it out, getting it customized. But, yeah, got it all ready to go. We have tacked together our new spring hanger, and we're going to see if we can hold that in place now and get it tacked up there. All right, shackle reversal forward mounts are tacked up there. Now we're gonna grab the leaf springs, swing them underneath there and see if we can start getting an idea what we got to do for the shackle hanger on the back side of the spring. All right, so Chris got everything all welded in and played around with the shackle angle, which kind of fought him. So trying to reutilize the stock shackle. You know, originally we kind of mocked it all up, held it into place, eyeballed what we wanted, and he had like 4.5 inches from the front of the body mount to this. And when he put it all together and started to bounce it, the shackle collapsed hard against the frame. And that wasn't going to work. So he's like, well, maybe if I move that mount point back a little bit. So he moved it back 1/2 inch, tried it again. And that didn't work. It still collapsed against the frame. He went, well, gee whiz, the rear is the same length spring. So he measured the rear from mount point to shackle point, and that put it at 3 inches from here to here. And then it collapsed the other way. So finally, he cut it off, put it at 3.5 inches, and then it seems to work, and everything's happy. So sometimes that's just the way it goes when you're doing these custom projects. You got to fight things a little bit, but the end result always works. So you got to make it work, right? So we're going to bolt some tires on it, tighten some things up, and let's set it on the ground, see what it looks like. Yeah, baby. Get on the ground. On the ground. Give her the bounces. Yeah. So, shackle reversal. It looks pretty freaking, it's pretty freaking level. It's real close. It may be a touch low in the back, but we're going to do a YJ spring conversion in the rear as well, trying to get that little bit extra flex out of it. So, but for now, I think we're done. Just needs a good test drive to verify ride quality, but we're not doing that tonight.